We're going to finish our geometric probability lesson with just some practice of finding the area of a regular polygon. So here we have a regular octagon and a radius of 25 meters. So I need to draw in an apothem. Okay, so I need to know what is the length of that apothem. So I'll call that A. And I need to know this right here. And from this, I can get a perimeter. Okay, so let's start by finding this angle measure right here. So I do 360 divided by the number of central angles. So there's a central angle, and there will be 8 of them since it has 8 sides. And 360 divided by 8, 360 divided by 8 is 45 degrees. So this right here, this central angle is 45 degrees. So now I take that 45 degrees and divide it by 2 because I need a half central angle. So divided by 2 is 22.5. So this right here is 22.5 degrees. Okay, so now in order to get this over here, this is opposite of the 22.5 degrees, and 25 is the hypotenuse. So using TOA, opposite and hypotenuse is here in sine. So I will use sine 25 degrees is to 1 as the opposite, x, is to the hypotenuse 25. So I can cross multiply. So I get x equals 25 sine 20, and this should say 22.5 here. Sine 22.5. So we have 25 sine 22.5. Oh, missed my 0.5 there. I'll try that again. 25 sine 22.5 is 9.57. Now I can use this to find the perimeter of the figure. Okay, so if this right here is 9.57, if I double that, I get a side length. So each side is 19.13, and I can multiply that by 8 sides, and I get 153.07. Okay, so a side length is 19.13 times 8 sides gives me the perimeter of 153.07. So there's my perimeter. Now I need the length of this apothem. So starting at this angle, that is the adjacent side, the adjacent leg. And here's the hypotenuse. Adjacent leg and hypotenuse is cosine. So we'll do cosine 22.5 is to 1 as the adjacent leg, A, is to the hypotenuse 25. So our cross products are A and 25 cosine 22.5. So 25 cosine 22.5 is 23.096, so 23.10. So we have 23.10 as our apothem. So the area is 1/2 times the apothem times the perimeter. So that's 0.5 times, and we'll just bring in that previous answer. So there's the apothem times the perimeter, which is 153.07. So we get 1767.73. So the area is 1767.73, and that is in meters squared. Now here we have a hexagon, and I'll draw in an apothem and find this half central angle measure. So we have 6 sides, so 360 divided by 6. That is 60. And 60 divided by 2 is 30. So I have a 30-degree half-central angle. Okay, so I need this side over here, and I need this apothem. Okay, so now we're looking at a 30, 60, 90 triangle. In a 30, 60, 90, the shortest side is to 1 as the longest side. The hypotenuse is to 2 as the longer leg. The medium side is to the square root of 3. Okay, so I have x is to 1 as 17 is to 2. Okay, now 17 over 2 can be simplified to 8.5, so x is 8.5. Okay, so that means that an entire side is 17. So I've got 8.5 right here, so that means each side is 17, so the perimeter is 6 times 17. And that is 102. So the perimeter is 102 centimeters. The apothem, A, is to the square root of 3, as 17 is to 2. So I can multiply this across, and I get that the apothem is 17 root 3 over 2. Okay, so now the area of this figure is 1/2 times the apothem, 17 root 3 over 2, times the perimeter, 102. So I'm going to go ahead and write my answer in two ways. I'm going to write it as an exact answer, then I'm going to write it as an approximate answer. So if I put this 102 over 1, now I'm going to multiply straight across the numerator. I've got 1 times 17 root 3 times 102. So I'll do 17 times 102, and that's 1734. So I get 1734 times the square root of 3 over 2 times 1, which is 4. Okay, now this can actually be simplified. 1734 over 4 is 867 over 2, so 867 root 3 over 2 centimeters squared is an exact answer. Now the approximate answer would be like this: 867 times the square root of 3 divided by 2 is 750.84 centimeters squared.